Hey, what's up guys, it's Texmer talking to you here, and today I want to cover my M1 Max's MacBook Pro ecosystem that I built around my computer so I can be more productive and make these videos for you guys. So in this video I will talk about which computers, which iPads, which phones, which cameras and everything else that goes around with this computer so I can make my videos. And I'm quite excited because this is my M1 Max MacBook Pro, 32 gigabytes of RAM, and it has a 32 GPU core. So this is quite expensive, and I will talk about prices, how much did it cost me to buy this whole ecosystem, and how much would it cost you, and if it's worth it, and what substitutions could you do to make it cheaper. So I mean, it's very obvious to start. I mean, the M1 Max is my favorite device out of this ecosystem, is the one that I recommend the most. So in this video I will talk about all of my products, iPhones, iPads and everything else. So if you are excited for this, don't forget to drop a like down below and subscribe to my channel. Thank you, we are growing, and let's get on with the video. So first of all, my obvious choice would be the M1 Max MacBook Pro. This computer is just incredible. It's a 16-inch device. It has 32 gigabytes of RAM. It has 32 GPU cores. It's just a beast to edit videos and photos. This is my main computer. This is my main device out of this ecosystem. No, it's not my iPhone, not my iPad. It's my MacBook Pro. So I do recommend getting this computer. Although if you are quite cheap and you don't have enough money to spend, then you should go for the M1 Pro, MacBook Pro 14-inch, the base model. That's the best option for everyone, but I do need the extra GPU power out of this M1 Max, so I could not recommend enough. The display is just incredible. It has an amazing keyboard. It has everything you could need for, so this is just one of the best computers out there. And in my opinion, in 2021, there's no better option. And even in 2022, if Apple won't probably refresh this computer until 2023, and I do love the new design. It's quite beautiful, it's quite amazing, it's quite comfortable to use. Although it's bigger and thicker than last time, I don't think that this computer, it's still very easy to hold, very easy to use, and it still feels very premium. It cost me around $34.99, $100, so it's quite expensive. It's the most expensive part of this ecosystem, but I do recommend you getting a MacBook Pro out of this new generation. If you don't have enough money, or if you want to save some money, because that's important, then you should go for, like I told you, for the base model 14-inch MacBook Pro. That's the best choice for everyone. The M1 Pro is good enough. It's very powerful. You still have all of the ports that this MacBook Pro 16-inch with the M1 Max has. You still have the HDMI, you still have the SD card slot, you still have the 3 Thunderbolt 3 ports, and you still have the MagSafe. So the M1 Max computer, one of the best. I do like this lettering behind it at the back, so it's quite fun, one of the best computers. In terms of performance, the Cinebench scores is just incredible. In terms of Cinebench, the scores are 12,191 points. This is the 4th most powerful computer in this test. And so even if you go for Geekbench 5, that's still perfect scores, and you can see that those are quite incredible. In terms of Geekbench 5, you get 1,733 points for single core and 12,830 for multi-core. This is great scores for the CPU test on Geekbench 5. And so, like you can see, this is very powerful, and in my opinion there's nothing better, but I told you $34.99, it's quite expensive, but that kickstarts my ecosystem. This is my main computer, this is the main part of my ecosystem, and I completely recommend a new generation MacBook Pro. Then, to accompany my MacBook Pro, I still use my 2018 iPad Pro. This is a continuation of my Pro ecosystem. This iPad Pro is just incredible still in 2021, going into 2022, because this iPad Pro is just insanely good value. Right now, I don't recommend any other iPad, in my opinion. This is still amazing, and it has 120 Hz. It has the A12X chip, which is just enough for iPad OS. I just make my thumbnails here. So, I mean, it's quite good. I use over Studio Daddy, so this is quite good for that. I still edit some videos on LumaFusion. I still do some quite good stuff here, and so I do recommend the iPad Pro for some work, not computer and full power mode, like going to edit videos only on the iPad Pro. I did it for some months, but I do not recommend it. LumaFusion is powerful, but not powerful enough for some stuff. So I do think that the iPad Pro, although a good deal and although very powerful, I do not recommend the current mini LED iPad Pro with the M1 because simply the fact that this iPad Pro still sells and still exists at Apple Store with the refurbished model for around $500. You can get this iPad Pro 11-inch for around $500, $600 for the 12.9-inch, and it's just crazy because you have to pay $1,000 for the new mini LED. So this is even better than the iPad Air, and it's around the same price. It has a bigger display, it has 120 Hz, has the Altoave X chip, so powerful still. The speakers, they are still incredible too. They have the quad speakers. Just listen to them. It's still very thin, still very light, it's still very easy to use. The display is just incredible. The liquid retina display is still very good. It has a camera, it's good. It's not the best, but it's still very good to scan documents and stuff. It has the attachment for the smart keyboard. It has, you can attach it to the new Magic keyboard. I use this simple like Magic. It's not a Magic keyboard, it's a smart folio case. I bought it in 2018, so there was no Magic keyboards back then. Still easy to use, still very easy to put on, and in my opinion, it's still very good. Of course, it's still very expensive, and right now I wouldn't recommend you buying one, but for now, I still use it, although it's still very worn out. It was expensive. So, how much I paid for this? Well, I paid around $1,100. This is a 56 gigabyte model for this iPad Pro, and I paid $180 for this case, and I paid $180 again for the Apple Pencil. So this was quite expensive, turning almost around $1,500. So, in my opinion, was it needed for the iPad Pro to have the smart folio case? Well, I don't think so. So right now, if I need to recommend you something, then I would recommend you the iPad Pro with an Apple Pencil. I think that's the most important part out of this iPad Pro experience. And so this would be around $780, $750 right now. So adding to the cost, $750 with the $3,500 from the MacBook Pro, then we are surpassed the $4,000. So you can see that's quite expensive. But if you go for a refurbished iPad Pro 2018, like I told you right now, then you would only spend $780 instead of the $2,000 or even the $1,500 that you would have to pay for the Mini LED M1 iPad Pro. So I will let up the Mini LED M1 iPad Pro at the end and make the substitution with this 2018, so you can see how much you could save by going with this model, which is the one that I recommend. Then, of course, we have the Apple Watch. This is my Series 4 Apple Watch. I never talked about much out of it because it's quite old right now, but this is the Series 4. You can see here, let me try to focus. Yes, that's the Series 4. So the Series 4, it's a quite good Apple Watch. It was the first redesign to the Apple Watch, the serious redesign. So I do recommend the Apple Watch Series 4. I have this Nike watch band. It's quite cool. You can see it's black on the back and gray on the front. It's little dots. It's quite cool, amazing. I like this Apple Watch very, very much. It's 3 years old right now. It came in 2018. So it's still very good. The only thing that is not amazing is battery life because it's quite old now. It's 3 years old. So would I recommend the Series 4 right now? I don't think so. Right now, I would not recommend buying a Series 4 new or even try to buy in a discount. No, buy the Apple Watch SE. It's almost the same thing as this one, but it's cheaper than the original Apple Watch Series 4. It has the S5 chip and it has a lot of stuff going for it. It has the compass and stuff. Doesn't have the always-on display like this Apple Watch. This was the last Apple Watch not to have the always-on display. I do recommend the Apple Watch SE, although if you do like the always-on display or even the more newer sensors, for example, the blood oxygen, you should go for the Apple Watch Series 7. The newer display is just incredible. It goes size to size. I've already tried it out on the Apple Store. I like it a lot, but I don't see the need to upgrade my Apple Watch Series 4, and so I won't spend money on it. I spent around $449 on this Apple Watch, or $439. I cannot remember how much was it. It was 3 years ago, but in euros it was around 550 euros. So you can see that this Apple Watch is very, very good. It's still going strong, and I won't probably upgrade until Apple makes it very different from the other ones like the Apple Watch Series 8. Let's see what Apple can do, but I won't upgrade my Apple Watch until Apple releases the glucose monitoring and the temperature sensor. So I hope that is here because I would have to spend $500 on it. But again, like I told you, this is the Apple Watch Series 4 and I quite like it. I love it, and like I told you, it's not necessary, but I do use it a lot for framing my videos when I'm using my iPhone to record. So the Apple Watch is quite important to use on my Pro ecosystem with my MacBook Pro and even my iPad Pro. I also use it to record my workouts and record my steps, my calories intake. That's incredible. The Apple Watch is my favorite fitness device ever, and I do love it. It's a health-focused Apple product, so I don't think that the Apple Watch is quite necessary in my Apple ecosystem. Also, it unlocks my Mac, so that's quite neat, and unlocks my iPhone when I'm not using a mask. So that's incredible. I recommend the Apple Watch, not this model, but an Apple Watch of some sort, minus the Series 3, to every Apple user. Okay, finally, we go into my last device, and the one that I consider one of my most important and favorite devices ever. And I upgraded this year, and I couldn't be more excited. And that's my iPhone 13 Pro Max. Right now, it's recording this video. So let's grab it. There you go, my iPhone 13 Pro Max. This is one of my favorite devices, like I was telling you. So the iPhone 13 Pro Max was an upgrade for my iPhone 12 Pro. Right now, I'm recording this video with the iPhone 12 Pro Max from my mother, like I did a review a few months back. But this is still very good. The iPhone 12 Pro Max is still incredible, but I do recommend going for the iPhone 13 Pro Max for this Pro ecosystem. This is a little bit more expensive than the iPhone 12 Pro Max or even the iPhone 11 Pro Max that I did a review a few videos back. But the iPhone 13 Pro Max improvements on the camera side are so noticeable. Even on the video side, like ProRes is still incredible. I use ProRes every single video now. It's big, it's difficult to move, so Apple bring USB-C to these Pro devices. I really need it. But the iPhone 13 Pro Max is just incredible. I do love it so much. The color Sierra Blue is just incredible. It just fits in my ecosystem so goodly and well. But the 3-camera array is just the thing that brings me over to the iPhone 13 Pro Max. The video performance for my channel is just a game changer. I can tell you that I was thinking buying a camera, and it was quite expensive. It was around 500 euros. I paid 100 and something euros for this iPhone 13 Pro Max because I sold my iPhone 12 Pro for around $1,000 or 1,000 euros, and in dollars is more like $1,100. So yes, I almost made money on my iPhone 12 Pro, so it was a very good sell. But then I bought this iPhone for around $1,400, so it cost me around some money. It was quite expensive if I didn't sold my iPhone 12 Pro, but I sold my iPhone 12 Pro, got the iPhone 13 Pro Max in a very good deal, but it was around 1,400 euros, so in the States would be around $1,200 because this is a 256 model, so it will be around $1,200. So I do believe that this device, it's a very focal and very important part of my ecosystem, and so I do recommend it very much. If you are asking for this case, this is a case from manufacturer. I don't remember. This is a 100% recycled case. You can see it's from Move It with a U. So a quite good, cool case. If you go for their website and check them out, they are 100% recycled. So they are made for old cases, and even the packaging is all cardboard and cord. There's no plastic on any of these packages, and even the case, this is recycled plastic and petroleum. So I do recommend going for these cases. They are very cool, they are very thin, and they are very transparent, and you can see your favorite color, which is my Sierra Blue. Of course, that's not the reason that I bought the iPhone 13 Pro Max. There were the cameras. The main camera shoots amazing video, but even the ultra-wide video, it's even better now. The telephoto is not that great for video, but it looks great when taking photos. The photos are incredible. I use them very much to take thumbnails or when they are not present, but if they are present, then I use my iPhone 12 Pro Max. And when I want to shoot videos on the iPhone 13 Pro Max on B-roll, or even show you on video, I use my iPhone 12 Pro Max to record, but the iPhone 13 Pro Max camera is so much better that you can notice probably quality loss, because this is not ProRes and the image before was ProRes. So let me know in the comments down below what were the differences that you noticed between these two devices. And I think that the video differences and the video quality on ProRes are quite noticeable, although since I got this ring light that I'm using, you probably can see it because it's stable in a way that you wouldn't be able to see it. But it's such a game changer that I can tell you that I also recommend my ring light for you to see. It's so incredible. Like, let me see if I can show you. Let me see. It's quite there. Trust me, it's very good. It's also part of my ecosystem to record with my MacBook Pro M1 Max. But this is my most important part of the ecosystem. It's the iPhone 13 Pro Max. This one, together with my M1 Max MacBook Pro, these are the two fulcrum parts of the ecosystem. If you ask me where would you cut to cut you on your budget, then I would cut on the Apple Watch first and then on the iPad. These two devices I will totally recommend you getting. These are the two most important ones, the MacBook Pro and the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Or the iPhone 13 Pro, which one you prefer, the size, it's no difference. So again, like I told you, the 120 Hz also make it very, 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 very interesting for prosumers because they will notice the 120 Hz. Like I told you, the device is quite incredible. You can see the display is very big, very good. The battery life on this device is just stupidly good. It has the smaller notch, so if you are into that stuff, I mean, I didn't notice after the first week, but of course, the performance is just incredible. I've been playing some games here and I couldn't be more happy. The MagSafe support, the 3-camera array, the LiDAR system makes some good use in some areas. But the main thing that I use for this ecosystem is the camera to record 4K 30 ProRes. I couldn't be more excited, and I do recommend you, if you are using this phone to record videos in ProRes, then go for the 1TB option, please, because almost every day I'm deleting footage here. When I want to record a new video, I have to delete the older one because one video, and I don't think I have more than 24 minutes of video to record in my iPhone in total, so that's crazy. Like when I delete all my footage from behind, I only have 24 minutes by using ProRes, and that's around 150 gigs, so you might be thinking that's a lot, and that is a lot. So again, this is my iPhone 13 Pro Max, one of my favorite parts of this ecosystem, and I cannot recommend you enough getting the iPhone 13 Pro Max. I want a substitution. If you want a cheaper iPhone, you don't want to spend this money, maybe go for the iPhone 13 Pro, but the difference is $100. So if you do want to save some money, go for the iPhone 11 Pro Max, that's cheaper and it still records amazing 4K 60 video, or go for the iPhone 12 Pro Max, but that's still quite expensive in today's age. So I think if you want to go cheap, go for the iPhone 11 Pro Max. If you want to spend a little bit more, then spend a little bit more and get the newer iPhone 13 Pro Max. Don't be afraid of the iPhone. Oh, the iPhone 14 is coming in September. Shut up. Just get the iPhone 13 Pro Max, best iPhone in years from Apple. So again, the Sierra Blue, my favorite color ever, and I cannot recommend the iPhone 13 Pro Max for prosumers and for people that want to use your iPhone to record enough. So let's put the iPhone 13 Pro Max where it belongs, back on the tripod. And so that's it. That's all my ecosystem that I have for my M1 Max MacBook Pro. Like I told you, that's everything I use. The iPad Pro 2018, my iPhone 13 Pro Max, my Apple Watch Series 4, the M1 Max MacBook Pro with 32 gigabytes of RAM and 32 GPU cores, and then my ring light. I think that's all for my Apple ecosystem. I also have my Pro AirPods, but I do not consider that an option for this Apple ecosystem because although they are very cool to use and they are very good with the iPhone, I don't think they are very, very good with Mac. The only thing is the delay when editing videos. I notice it quite a bit, so I wouldn't recommend them for my ecosystem. So I do have them, and let me get them. I will just get into you to show you. So here I am. These are my AirPods Pro. I mean, they are good, but they are not the focal part, and they are the most important part of this ecosystem. I have them, I use them. They are quite good. You can see they are a little bit scratched up, but these are my AirPods Pro. I like them. They are very cool. Favorite AirPods ever. I had the AirPods first generation that I bought in 2018, but these AirPods Pro that I bought in 2020, they are incredible. They are 1 year old right now, so I do like them a lot. I do use them a lot. I have a review of these AirPods Pro on my channel if you want to check it out. But these AirPods Pro, I don't think they are very important. They cost me around 200 euros because I bought them on a discount, so it's around $250. Here in Portugal, it's much more expensive to buy Apple products, but imagine if I bought them for $200 in the States. It's the same thing. So these are very cool, very good to use, but I don't think they are very important for this Apple's ecosystem, so I will not put them here. And so I just want to show you that I have them, and I use it in my own Apple ecosystem and my iPhone ecosystem. But for the Mac, I do not recommend you going for AirPods to edit videos. If you want to use some type of headphones, then buy those ones that are monitors because they have better latency and they have better quality in general, because these phones and these are, by using Bluetooth, they are very, very, very difficult to edit on because they have a good amount of latency that you can notice by editing. And so I do not recommend using Bluetooth headphones or even AirPods to edit your videos on a Mac. Use the internal speakers, they are very, very good. And even the microphone, they are the best. And this is a microphone test for the M1 Max MacBook Pros. What do you think? Leave on the comments down below. The microphone on the MacBook Pro is just the best, even better than this one that I'm using right now. So, I mean, I do not recommend you getting the AirPods to use as a Pro device for your MacBook Pro ecosystem, but if you want to buy it for the iPhone ecosystem or for your own Apple ecosystem, then I cannot recommend them enough because they are very, very good. The AirPods Pro are the best AirPods ever released. They are cheaper than the AirPods Max, they are almost as good, they are ways and leagues ahead, the AirPods 3 and the AirPods first and second generation. Finally, this is the end of my video, and so I want to round up all of the costs that went into this MacBook Pro ecosystem. First, like I told you, the $3,500 went for my MacBook Pro. Of course, I could save some money here, but I won't. I think this is the most important part of my ecosystem, and so I don't want to spend and don't want to save money here. I will save money otherwise. But the MacBook Pro, most important part, so let's put it at $3,500 with 32 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte of storage, and 32 GPU cores. Then we jump into the iPad Pro. Like I told you, I do recommend the 2018 option. So again, if you do want to save money because this one it's around $600 instead of the $1,000 that the 12.9 inch with mini LED starts. So save money there, save around $400 instead of being for $4,500 or $4,700, it will be around $4,100. So with the Apple Pencil goes up a bit, so it's $4,200 right now, and it's quite expensive still, but you will save around $400 to $500 by just going with the 2018 instead of the M1 iPad Pro. By being around $4,200 now, and we have to go for the Apple Watch, then I would recommend you going for the Apple Watch SE. I think I do have one. Let me check it out on the back. Oh, I think I had an Apple Watch SE, so here it is. This is an Apple Watch SE. Let me see if I can show you. This is a Nike model, but it's quite cool. This is my brother's Apple Watch SE. Cannot recommend it enough. It's $200 and something, $269 to be precise. So this is the best option for you if you want to save money. So I would recommend you the Apple Watch SE, and so that puts you around $4,400, $4,500. So you can see that by saving $300 here, by saving $500 there, $500 to $600 there, we are close to $1,000 of savings, and that's not enough. So I do think that by saving almost $1,000 in the ecosystem, that's quite cool, because this is a Pro ecosystem. You have to be in mind that it will be quite expensive. You could save money by going with the M1 Pro, MacBook Pro 14-inch, and so if you do that, then it will be around $1,500 plus the $800 to $900, then we would be saving $2,400, and we would be around right now the $3,000 mark. So you can see that by just going for the 14-inch with the M1 Pro base model, which is still plenty enough for you, by going the Apple Watch SE route, by going with 2018 refurbished iPad Pro, you would save a lot of money. But the one thing that I would not compromise would be my iPhone 13 Pro Max. No, please do not try to save money on this device. This is the best device on this ecosystem to not save money because of the camera quality on your videos. This is back again at my iPhone 13 Pro Max recording this video. This is 4K 30 frames per second ProRes, and you can see that it's very, very good with this ring light. So one thing I do recommend with the iPhone 13 Pro Max is, and with the iPhone camera in general, get a good lighting system. I could not recommend a ring light enough. My favorite device of 2022 to be precise. I'm joking, of course, but one of my important buys in 2022 and even 2021. I thank my family, I thank everyone who gave me this light. It's one of my favorite presents ever, and I couldn't be more happy with it. So again, my M1 Max MacBook Pro ecosystem is complete now, and I can tell you that I couldn't be more happy with it. I don't need to upgrade now everything else. I will buy the iPhone 14 to review. Let me see if I do want to keep it. I will do the same deal if I do need it. But the iPhone 13 Pro Max, the MacBook Pro, M1 Max, the iPad Pro 2018, this one here, the refurbished one, I do recommend it a ton. So this is my Pro ecosystem. What do you think? This is my recommendation for you. Some saving tips: if you want to save some money, go for the, like I told you, the M1 Pro 14-inch base model, go for the 2018 iPad Pro instead of the 2020, and go for the Apple Watch SE instead of the Apple Watch Series 7. But then again, if you want the best of the best, then I recommend you going for my Apple ecosystem. You don't need to spend more. I don't think there's no need. Even on the 2020 mini LED option, that's a waste of money in my opinion. So what are your thoughts? And leave them on comments down below. What are your thoughts on this my Apple ecosystem? Do you like it? Don't you like it? What changes would you do to my Apple Pro ecosystem? around the M1 Max MacBook Pro? Let me know in the comments down below. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, don't forget to leave a like down below, and turn the notification so you will get notified when I release new videos. This was Tech Summer talking to you here. Bye!